New England goes down. The Chiefs win. Kansas City 27-17 is the win. In their circle, they get the win, and they actually covered the spread. They were favored by anywhere from 8.5 to 9.5. So if you're a gambler and you laid the points with Kansas City, you ended up winning that game. The Chiefs improved to 9-5 on the season. The Patriots dropped to a morbid 3-11. So let us discuss the question: thumbs up or thumbs down on this performance, solving what had been wrong for the Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes? Does this game fix all of that? Thumbs up or thumbs down? So I am going to go thumbs down on this. I've got Beatles Investment Fund and Dragon's Breath. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some hot sauce, some spicy hot sauce, which is what the Patriots need. They have nothing. They have nothing on offense. They are so terrible. The fact that they scored 17 points feels like a big breakthrough for the way they've played most of this season. But anyway, to kick off the festivities, the question was about the Chiefs' offense in this particular game, jump-starting things. So the Chiefs did what they needed to do to procure the victory. That's kind of obvious there. That's the most important thing. But in terms of the question of whether or not they fix some things, I didn't get the sense that they were running on all cylinders in this game. Now, the Patriots don't have any big names on defense. The guys they did have were big names are hurt right now. But Belichick, and they've been pretty good at scheming things up defensively. I'll put it that way. But I didn't see a pyrotechnic score. I didn't. And Kansas City, they put up decent yardage, but they only scored 27 points. It's not that great. Lousy on third down, did not do well in that department, especially in the second half. Shut out in the fourth quarter. That's not where they need to be. Now, you say, well, it's a work in progress, and maybe that's true, but this does not solve all that is ill in Kansas City. Individually, Patrick Mahomes, you look at his performance in this game, and it was like a Beatles tune, right? It was here, there, and everywhere. The yards, the touchdowns that Mahomes had were good. The interception, one of the interceptions was Kadarius Toney, who just botched it. The pass was good, and he screwed it up. But Mahomes, you have high expectations. This guy is the gold standard in the NFL, and you expect more. All right, now, furthermore, we had some drama with the referees. We can't go a weekend in the NFL without drama involving the referees. So this involves an injured Patriot player, linebacker Matthew Judon, who has been dinged up here for the Patriots, but he's still very active, and he didn't like what he saw there. He did not like what he saw in this game. He took a shot at the NFL officiating. He did it on X, on Elon Musk's X, Matthew Judon commenting on a post on X that showed what appeared to be an AI-generated image of Patrick Mahomes French kissing an official. Judon responded to that and said, "I see no lies," is what he said. "I see no lies," in response to that post. Now, Matthew Judon, believing that Kansas City benefited from some very generous penalty flags at inopportune times for the Patriots, but very opportune times for Kansas City, and had points taken off the board. Now, on the Chiefs' first drive, he must be referring to the first drive here of the third quarter, there was a defensive holding penalty that negated what would have been a Chiefs fumble and recovery by the Pats defense. Jabril Peppers recovered at defensive back for the Patriots, but the drive ended with a field goal, Harrison Buckner, and that made it a 17-10 game in favor of Kansas City. So where are you at on Matthew Judon and his post about the referees? So it's nice to see the guys not playing is that worked up and that invested when the franchise, they won't tell you this publicly, but off the record, they want to get the number one pick, and they have a path to do it. They have to lose all these games and all this stuff. But New England blows, and the fact that you're still apathetic apoplectic, I should say, to the officials. I mean, this particular situation, right? It looked to me, and I was looking at some of the other things that were going out of the Patriots Chiefs locker room situation and all that. It's like there's this sentiment that the Chiefs paid a big fine. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes combined, it was like $150,000 they paid in fines for what they did last week when they were ripping the referees. And it's like, that's the Zebra Investment Fund. Okay, that is the Zebra Investment Fund. And boom, immediately it pays dividends here. As you see in the eyes of Matthew Judon, the call that should not have been made was made. But Kansas City, you don't need help to beat the Patriots. Come on. They would have won this game whether they had that call or not. The question is what happens down the line. Those 50-50 calls in the playoffs, Kansas City, let's say they have to go on the road to Baltimore and play the Ravens. Are they going to get the benefit of the doubt from the referees? Or does it matter whether or not Taylor Swift is in the building? Now, parting shot. We go to Charlotte, North Carolina. That is where Coach Arthur Smith, that's the head coach of the Atlanta football team, Arthur Smith's job security, let's just say it's been cranked up a couple of degrees on the hot seat after the Atlanta football team lost to the worst team in the NFL. They squandered a lead, not a big lead, but on a rainy day, it rained all day in Charlotte, and the Falcons suffered an embarrassing 9-7 loss to the Carolina football team, the 2-12 Carolina Panthers, with an interim head coach and a last-second field goal in a rainstorm from Eddie Pinheiro. And that was it. And that knocks Atlanta out of a three-way tie, and now they are looking up at New Orleans and Tampa Bay in the NFC South, and New Orleans plays the Rams on Thursday. The Bucs have a date with Jacksonville coming up here. But 8 days ago, the Falcons were by themselves atop the division, and now free falling. So where does this performance, a loss to the worst team in football, the Panthers, where does this performance leave head coach Arthur Smith and the Falcons? Well, it leaves them on the outside looking in. That's the first thing, right? That's obvious. They're on the outside looking in. But it doesn't change things that dramatically for me on this side of the microphone, and I'll tell you why. Right? Because Arthur Smith was already on the endangered species list in terms of being a head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care what Arthur Blank says or some of these other big shots, what they tell the media. Watching the Falcons, now they don't have a quarterback and they have no clue what they're doing. They're a poorly coached team, and this game merely validates the long-standing belief that Arthur Smith should be back working at FedEx. Because right now, if you were to take a look, his breath is like he just ate a dragon pepper, one of those dragon breath peppers, and good luck. Good luck. Get him a glass of ice water and have a fine time there. Because they don't have a quarterback, lifeless roster, bad division, and it is all raining down on Arthur Smith. That job will be open. Will Bill Belichick want to go to Atlanta? It's on the East Coast rather than go to L.A. on the West Coast. Inquiring minds would like to know.